So,
And we are live. Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well today. It's very cool to have you today for our demo day. I think most of you should know what does it mean actually, because demo day is actually an opportunity for our members to showcase on live their game, the platform, what they are building to you. And obviously, at the end of each session, we'll have the opportunity to ask you each one of the speakers will have the opportunity to ask you a question, and based on that question you will have few time to answer, and we will pick a winner, and you will have the opportunity to win something, an NFT. It could be anything related to the project. So hope you are ready for that. Just before that, I would like to just say a few words because we were in Malta this week for a BGA panel with BGA members talking about blockchain gaming and esports. And actually, during that event, we actually won the award of the best crypto community of the year. So obviously, that's on you guys, our BGA members. So thank you for that. It was a very cool event. So thanks again. But that's not the purpose of what we're doing right now, obviously. And I will let Ryan to share and to introduce the game right away. Hi, Ryan. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm all ready. Thank you for having me. Very appreciative of the fact that we have the chance to come on this platform and kind of talk about the game. So first off, my name is Ryan. I am the social media manager and the marketing lead for Chain Boost. Chain Boost is a launchpad and incubator protocol that is powered by the ChainGuardians ecosystem. So if you've ever heard of IDOs, INOs, we do a lot of those for different DeFi and GameFi projects. Just recently, we launched a game called ChainGuardians, which I will be demoing some live gameplay for here in a sec. ChainGuardians is a survival mode first-person shooter zombie game. And with this game, what we utilize for game access is the Chain Boost specific PFP, which is called Chain Bunnies, or the evolved version, which was just recently released, called Zombies. Within this gaming ecosystem, we have a couple of different game modes. As you can see, we have single player, multiplayer, and battle royale. If you are a original Chain Bunnies holders, which is the NFT that we released last year, then you instantly have access to the single player mode. If you are a Zombies holder, which is the NFT that was just released a couple weeks ago, which you can actually attain by burning original Chain Bunnies NFTs, then you gain early access to the other game modes that you see here, multiplayer and battle royale. With ChainGuardians, it very much is a kind of traditional zombie mode style of game where you go into the game and it is wave based. So every single wave that you enter, 5 zombies come at you, or 5 additional zombies per round. And your goal is to survive as long as you possibly can, utilizing the different weapons in the game, the different in-game perks, weapon upgrades, and using points to acquire all these different upgrades, guns, and even opening up the map for additional gameplay. So don't want to bore you guys too much. Just wanted to give a brief explainer here. We'll get into the gameplay. We're going to go ahead and go into single player gameplay mode. And then with this, we'll have the chance to kind of show off some gameplay. All right, are you guys able to see my screen here?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, perfect. With this game, if you are a holder of a Zombies NFT, which for the purposes of today I am, you actually have access to a special weapons drop. In my case, I have access to this lovely assault rifle that you see here. And you have the opportunity to change weapons as well. So if you don't like the assault rifle and want to switch over to your trusty starter pistol, you can do that as well. And then when you are killing the zombies in this game, first round should be pretty self-explanatory. It is a one-shot headshot if you are just trying to get those very early points and conserve your ammo, which is very important over the course of the game. As the game goes on, the zombies do get a little bit more durable. It's going to take more shots to kill each of the zombies. And they do have increased health as well. So it's just something you need to pay attention to as the game goes on. Now, with the AR, this is one of the advantages that if you are a Zombies NFT holder, with the AR, it is still a one-shot kill very early on in the game, but as the game progresses, obviously, the zombies become much more durable, they have more health, and it becomes harder to kill them. Now, I want to direct you guys to the top left of the screen here. You'll see two different bars. You'll see one with red and one with green. The red bar is your health bar, and the green bar is your stamina. So if you are running around the map just kind of slowly like I am right now, it's not going to use any of your stamina. But if you press down on the shift key, and as you see in the top left, start using a lot more of that sprint power and a lot more of that stamina. Now, with the gameplay footage today, I'm going to showcase a couple of different things. And hopefully before we run out of time, I'll get the chance to show off the shotgun, as that is my personal favorite weapon. But also, if you are looking to kill the zombies, a perfect example here, we actually have a max ammo. If you are able to attain the shotgun, that is my personal favorite weapon. And we do have bullet piercing, which allows the bullets to sneak through and to hit multiple zombies at the same time.
So obviously we'll be able, Ryan, to share the link of the NFT collections that is necessary to play the game. If you, we still have the opportunity to got it and to got in the game, right, with the NFT. Is it still possible to enter?
Can you repeat the question one more time for me?
Is it possible for everyone, once you have the NFT, to go play the game right now, or you have a limited time?
So with the game, I don't know if I quite heard the question. So with the game, it's available right now, and it's only for Chain Bunnies NFT holders. So if you do hold that NFT, then you do have access into the game. We are going to be offering limited time access here in the near future. So with that, if you do not hold an NFT holder, or if you are not an NFT holder, we will be providing opportunities to earn limited time access. And with that, any rewards that are associated with the game, you would have access to as well. It would be for only about 30 to 60 days. And then from there, if you do want to continue gaining access into the game, that would require the purchase of an NFT. And as you can see there, I just got stuck in a bush and I died. All right. And then, okay, perfect. And we can go ahead and leave it like that. And I'll stop sharing my screen here. So with the gameplay footage, it is very, very straightforward in that if you do have different guns, whether it's a shotgun, a pistol, whatever the case, your goal is just to kill as many zombies as you can. And then with the reward infusion of the game, we are going to be doing it very much based on leaderboard rewards, as well as different social campaigns as well. So we will be running referral programs possibly in the near future, social media campaigns for things like funny moments, top plays, stuff like that as well. So if you do care about the earning element a little bit more, if you have that NFT, you have access into the game, and then you can explore the game, play it as much as you want, and then we will be running tournaments as well for a little bit of a higher prize pool than we would any of these other social campaigns that we're running as well.
Perfect. No, it's very cool to see the game actually. Can you hear me well just before I continue? Yeah, perfect. Awesome. So yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for the test. It was very interesting to see how the game, how we could play the game. And obviously, so you do have a question. I don't know if you know your question, but you have it on the private chat. But also, Ryan, feel free to share with me, and I will share it to everyone, the link of the collection, the NFT collection, for everyone to play as well.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll share that link here in just a second for the NFT collection. There are actually, technically speaking, two different collections because we do have two different NFTs that enable access, and technically speaking, they're separate PFPs. So I'll go ahead and I'll pull up that collection for you real quick here, and I'll submit that into the chat. Now, with the collection that we have, again, we have Chain Bunnies and we have Zombunnies. The Zombunnies started kind of an interesting story. We do have some kind of lore behind it. So there was this bunny, Tangerine, that is a kind of a pyromaniac in the bunny universe, or the bun universe, as we do call it. kind of a pyromaniac, and it came across this very interesting canister of tech. And basically with this tech, it is something that is like a self-contained zombie contagion, basically saying if it is not within this container and if it is set on fire, then ultimately it spreads this widespread contagion over the course of the universe. And with it, Tangerine, being a pyromaniac in itself, lit the canister on fire, threw it on the ground, and spread this huge, widespread zombie contagion. And with it, some bunnies survived, some have not. It kind of plays a role into the actual NFT collections themselves, whether or not your zombie will conform to the contagion, whether or not it bursts into flames and gains all those inherent zombie traits as well. So the question that we have, and this might be a basic one, we just talked about it, is which bunny started the zombie bun apocalypse?
Perfect. So actually, we will post the question for everyone just to make sure that it will. Yeah, we got it. Thanks, Luis, for that. We will wait. Oh, we already got one answer, but maybe wait a little time. A bit
Yes.
more. Yeah.
And I just want to remind anyone who's watching us, if they have any other questions for the speakers, now's the time to do them, and we will try to answer them live. So I just saw one question here from Andre, which was actually answered a few seconds after with the link to where to get the NFTs of this collection. But if there are any other questions, let us know in the comment section as well.
So actually, you already got a lot of answers. So I don't know. What do you think, Ryan? If you have a look at the comment section, should you dare pick a winner?
Yeah, let's see. I think the first one that I saw was Deepika, I think. So yeah, correct answer. The bunny that started the bun apocalypse was Tangerine. And I'll give bonus points to Gleb, who said patient zero. Kind of the running joke that we have is with Tangerine. Tangerine got a one-of-a-kind artwork. So with the total zombie supply, it was 3,000, and it's very much kind of a generative PFP kind of project. But with this specific Tangerine, we did create a one-of-a-kind artwork as a part of this collection, and we call it Bunny Zero. So I saw Deepika's answers first, so I will give Deepika the credit there. Gleb, I will give you extra credit there for the patient zero comment, as Tangerine is technically Bunny Zero in this universe.
That's great. Luis, do you maybe want to precise how does it work exactly for the winners?
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, whichever the speakers choose as the winner, that would be awesome. Then now, Deepika, for you to claim your reward or your prize, I'm gonna send a link to a form that you can fill out so you can claim your prize. Then we will reach out to you. Okay.
And then Luis, if you don't mind, let's also send that form to Gleb if possible, because I do want to give Gleb some rewards there for extra credit.
Gleb Doiken. Okay, awesome. So Deepika, Gleb, fill out the form. You two are winners of today's reward. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks again, Ryan, for the presentation. So we will go over the next one, which will be MetaGameHub. I think it's going to be Camilo. Camilo, if you're ready.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for hosting this and taking the time to actually have us here. We have been around for about 1.5 years, and I think we've been here showing our tools quite some times. Before I get into them, if you don't know them, I want to actually talk about the metaverse in its current state. I think that there is a huge issue in terms of adoption, because people don't really know, on the first place, which land to buy, right? The second place, they don't really know how to build on those lands. And the last thing that is happening in this space is that the metaverse is pretty much empty. I mean, we have around 260,000 monthly users if you talk about the open metaverse or the decentralized metaverse, and that's a huge issue, because if you compare it with huge platforms such as Roblox or Fortnite, where you have like 100 million people. I mean, we have a long way to be there in this open metaverse that we're all pushing through Web3. So in order for us to actually solve that issue of adoption, we are creating tools to help people through this journey. So we think that in future there's going to be a lot of different people from different jobs that are going to be coming to the metaverse, but the tools just don't exist for them to actually monetize their assets, their time, and their data. So what we are doing is we're essentially building a platform for investing and building in the metaverse. And for that, we have two pillars. One of the pillars, which is the investment part, is creating infrastructure and tools for people to actually properly invest. So without further ado, let me actually share my screen so I can show you a little bit of what we created. So let me see if you can see it. There you go. So essentially, we created an interface to actually evaluate virtual lands. We have an algorithm that takes into account transaction history and neighboring weighting data. So we pretty much download the transaction history for the whole map or for the whole metaverse. We see what the sales are for the different lands, and then we pretty much give weights to the lands around the land that is being analyzed. So we look for this transaction history, then we look around 34 lands around this area, and then we give a weight to each neighbor. And after giving that weight, we actually calculate a benchmark. The benchmark is normally the median of sales of that given date, so the average of sales. And based on that, we make a prediction for the price. So if you go to this tool, you will be able to see the map. You will be able to see which lands are on sale, and if you click on them, you will have the valuation. So in this case, we have a land that is listed for 2.4 ETH, and according to our algorithm, it has a valuation of 1.74 ETH, and actually an overvaluation of 38%. This is pretty much the basic filter, so to say, but we have some interesting filters that are on top of this. So we have this one, which is our heat map. And this heat map pretty much shows you from a macro perspective very clearly what the price trends are within that specific metaverse. So if we take a look at this, you can clearly see that there's huge interest, or at least very high valuations around this area over here. And if you see and check which area it is, you will be able to see that it's Snoop Dogg. So this is just a, so to say, a confirmation of how relevant the neighborhood is where a land is located, right? So people speculate that, I mean, Snoop Dogg being such a huge star and people having lands next to that, the valuation of those lands will be higher. Same thing here. This is, if I'm not mistaken, the Atari estate. So over here, I mean, you can really clearly and easily see the different price trends within the metaverse. So we have some other interesting features, such as showing the floor price in different currencies. We show the daily volume for that specific metaverse. We have also a top picks feature, so you can pretty much see what the undervaluation rate is for the different lands that are listed, and you can actually see the top sales for that specific metaverse. So what is the highest price that has been paid for a specific land? This is pretty much allowing the users or the investors to actually have a better picture of the metaverse, and we have therefore created multiple filters that assist them in this objective. So for instance, here you can see the listed lands, and you will be able to pretty much see which lands are currently on sale and what their valuation is. The more red the land is, or the square is colored, the higher the valuation. So you can then see, click and see, okay, this is listed for, this is listed for 100,000 ETH, has a valuation of 2.5 ETH, and it's pretty much overvalued, I would say. So this person selling this land is not really objective. But one thing that we created, I mean, here you can see the valuations, and you're like, oh, okay, nice. So of course the lands next to this area it's are pretty highly valued. Lands that are far away from the center or far away from interesting places are rather or have rather a low valuation. But we created a filter, which is the price difference filter, and that pretty much shows you the listing price in comparison to the valuation rate. So in this case, you can see the more red the colors are, the less of a good deal it is. So it shows that pretty much a lot of the listings are fairly overvalued. So here you can select the metaverses. I'm going to show you really quickly Somnium Space. It's going to take a bit to load. The thing is, the way we do it is we actually connect our services in our API and do the evaluations in real time. So every single time you load the interface, we pretty much load all the valuations for that specific moment in time that you are looking for the data. So this is, I showed you Sandbox, and over here we have Somnium Space, which is also one of the, I would say, blue chip or big four metaverses. And this has pretty much the same methodology, I would say, in terms of evaluating the lands, and it has the same charts, but for a different metaverse. So the idea for this tool is to actually expand it and increase its accuracy on the one side, and we also want to add some more features. So we want to add the feature to actually see what the traffic is. So you will be able to see the heat map. You will be able to see how many people are on the different lands and at what time they're getting in, how much time they're spending there, which is super interesting for the analytics. And in future, we want to create kind of a entry point metaverse where you will be able to see the different metaverses with the different maps, and you will be able to jump from one to the other in one spot. Because if I tell you today, like, hey, do you actually know how to get to the Gucci store in Decentraland? I bet 1 in 10 people will be able to make it, and the others will not find that Gucci store there. And that's exactly the issue that we're trying to solve. Because I mean, Gucci is cool, of course. I mean, they have some nice clothes, and they are a brand, so they're established, and they could attract their customers. But if the metaverse provider doesn't really give them the way to enter it in a seamless way, like you do it in Google, that you say Gucci, and then you go to the Gucci website, then it's not going to happen. And to finalize, we really think that the metaverse is the embodiment of Web3, and it's the embodiment of the next iteration of the internet, meaning that in future, we will stop going to these websites and having these calls like we're doing here, but we're going to do everything in an immersive way. So essentially, we want to provide people with the tools and all the different infrastructural aspects in order for them to enjoy this experience and really get adoption to the metaverse. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
That's pretty cool. Thank you, Camilo. And actually, it's always a pleasure to have you and your team on the show, because each time, obviously, that's the main purpose of what we are doing these demo days, to welcome you in each iteration of what you're developing and the platform. And last time you were showing the heat map and how it works. And actually now you're showing a lot of things. So next step, we already know why you will come again. So it's very cool to have this overview about what you're building on your side. So thanks again for that. And
for sure, yeah, thank you.
Do you know the question you would like to ask to the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of tricky. I hope you paid attention. But what are the 2 parameters that we actually use to evaluate lands?
Perfect. So we'll see if everyone will be as fast as last time, but we would give you some time. So we will see if.
Oh, good. They can also answer it while the others present. So it's.
Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
You know, you really need to wait. And if they didn't pay attention, then I guess we're missing that prize today.
We're already having some first answers, but I don't know if this is the correct answer. Actually, I don't know if you can see them.
Where can I see the answer?
You have a comment sections at the right in your right.
Yeah, got it. Heat map and reviews? No, that's not the one. Heat map and basic? No.
No, it's not. You have to think more. Perfect. So we will wait a little bit, obviously, to gain all feedback and answers, and we're gonna go to the next speakers. Thanks again, Camilo, for the
Sure.
presentation.
No, thank you very much.
So next one will be, I think it will be GameTrade. So I think it will be you, Dimitri.
Yep. Hi everyone. Thanks
Hey.
very much for having me here. And yeah, let me try share my screen.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Could be this one.
Perfect. We can see it.
Please let me know. Okay, great. Awesome. So a little bit about myself. So I'm the CTO of GameTrade Market. I'm in crypto since 2017. I've been part of 4 different crypto projects, some successful, some not. I even had a YouTube channel about Bitcoin in 2018, when I thought that it was very important to actually let people understand what they're buying at least. I went through multiple bear markets, and what's important about that is that I would never participate in a project that I would feel is vulnerable or dependent on bear markets or bull markets. So I really wanted to participate in a project that actually benefits from blockchain in some way that is good no matter if the market is bull or bear. So GameTrade Market is a hyper-casual Web3 gaming marketplace and ecosystem. It's important for the future Web3 worlds because we believe Web3 worlds are not yet developed enough, but in the next 5 to 10 years they will be, and a more casual audience will eventually come to such games, metaverses, and we're building our platform for them. We believe that we're super different from other marketplaces because we don't suspect our users can tell ERC20 from ERC721, just like, let's say you use Revolut and you send money to somebody else. You never care if it's done with the IBAN, SWIFT, SEPA, or Visa, MasterCard, or whatever method there is. You just want to send money to your friends, and you don't care how it works under the hood. And we build our marketplace in the same way. So it's not even easy to tell if it's Web3 or if it's not Web3. So if we open, let's say, average game page, here we have play links. We have some basic information, screenshots about the game, information, social links, game developers' blogs. So you can see them. They're quite well done. You can have pictures, some embedded content here, let's say YouTube or Spotify or whatever. So there will be maybe some other examples. And also, just please give me a second. So it's not only about developers being able to tell their updates to gamers, but also the ability of, I just showcased you some feature from development because we're very proud how it went done. And in product, actually, we have user reviews. So users can review games, developers can have their blogs and tell gamers about game updates, news, maybe some game guides, how to play. And we feel that it's very important that developers and gamers, they communicate with each other and they can maybe share feelings. Also, directly from here, a user can buy game currency. And you see, it's mostly, it's very hard to tell that it's NFT or Web3. It's just like a good marketplace for games. Our target customers, just more than 3 billion gamers in the world, aged all from 16 to 50 to 60. And we understand that American gamers, almost half of them are female. And that's important to understand that we are working with a very diverse audience if we're talking about the casual audience, and we have to keep that in mind. Why do we believe in Web3 game items? Because there is a huge shift in perception how we feel items in like Web2 games. Actually, they are called goods, but they are closer to services because you spend money on an item and you don't expect any returns. Like you spend money on a massage or you spend money on going to the movies, and you don't expect later to sell your experience to someone. And same happens to Web2 items. You buy them, but you cannot like give them to someone else and get your money back. But with Web3 items, actually it happens. And now users afford to spend much more money on the game items. In Web2, the statistics show the lifetime value, average lifetime value of mobile, I mean, network game is $220, like lifetime value. But we know that in Web3, that's actually just the smallest you can pay for an item in Galaxy Fight Club because people understand that they can resell the item and therefore they can afford to spend much more. And developers actually go in also to earn much more from such sales. So we believe that anyway, gaming will go in this direction. There are a lot of casual gamers' needs and wants. No way I will tell you about all of them. The left part is Web 2, the right part is Web 3. And what unique features we actually get from Web 3? It's finally no some third-party websites or a very limited Steam marketplace for secondary market items. Now you're finally get a full chance to buy and sell game items, game currencies. Finally, you get secure transactions. It's not that you agreed on some third-party website to exchange items in return of Revolut money. It's a real transaction that you're sure that you will not get scammed. And of course, we pre-validate smart contracts because it's very easy to create a fake smart contract, and we want to make sure that users actually buy genuine items that they can use in the game later. So we believe that it's a great time for building Web3 gaming marketplaces, games, metaverses, because there is still a huge way to reach the numbers of Web2. The market cap is 100 times smaller. Number of users, we don't actually believe 1 billion from Web3, which we think it's much less. So there is a huge gap that we still have to go through. We understand that there is a huge competition between GameTrade market and other marketplaces, but even if we take the most essential things, multiple blockchain support, multiple wallets, and that the marketplace is game focused. Even if you just check those 3 check marks, we're already alone. And if we add NFT renting, game reviews, being able to trade items with game currency instead of Ethereum, Matic, or other native currencies, we're pretty much alone in this competition. Now I want to share a little of our roadmap. So we actually are 1 year in development, and what we just launched it on November 8th, literally a week ago. We started our marketing. Now we have, if we check, I think, so let me log in the system. Okay, it should be here. Yeah. So if we check our people, actually, it might be a little over 200. Okay, let me see if I'm logged in. Okay. Does it log me in? Never mind. So yeah, it's logging me in. Great. It's my PC actually a little slow. So currently we have 260 users 1 week after the start, and we have 4,000 people on Twitter. So we're just starting. And what we're going to do next is actually we will integrate the very soonest the referral system, NFT reward system. We will add an awesome game developers dashboard where actually game developers, they will own their game page, so they can modify the screenshots, the game descriptions, game currencies they want to sell through the system, update their blogs. And also they will have all the metrics like how often their web page is viewed, which blog post is open the most, and the dynamics of that, the game items listings and sales analytics. So we will add all this for game developers dashboard. And of course, we will add new blockchains because we believe that the more blockchains we support, better. So yeah, that's about our next step, new blockchains and create a launchpad, get to 2,000 followers on Twitter. And the most important here is actually games, because we understand that we are nothing without great games. We understand that well. So right now we are aiming with 10 collaborations with Web3 games. Early games integration is free. So we will do all the necessary changes that you might require from a marketplace to accommodate your individual needs of your game. And if you are a good Web3 game looking for a good marketplace, you can use our Calendly link to schedule a call with us and discuss possible integration features. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dimitri. Very good, cool presentation, actually going over the platform. I won't dare talking and mentioning this trend about 0% royalty fees that we can see in the market right now, but that could be a very interesting topic to tackle with you, and the decision to have a specific percentage of royalty fee depending on the purchase of a game. That's obviously one of the topic we got within the BGA. But I think in 20 minutes, it won't be impossible to cover that anywhere. So do you remember your question for the audience?
Yeah, sure.
It's in the private chat.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to tell about the price. Actually,
We should
it will
start
be
with that.
more.
Yes.
It should be more. It would be more interesting to people in London or being able to travel to UK in the next 10 days. There will be a great conference, Enter the Metaverse, and the prize is one ticket to that 2 days conference. It's November 28 and November 29. And you will get a chance to actually see personally all the great metaverse projects. And the question is very simple. It's more about for on the speed side. What animal is the mascot of GameTrade Market? If you don't know, you can just visit our website. We would be happy to see you there.
Perfect. We will show the question again, obviously. Let everyone has the chance to answer. I don't know if we can get back. I don't know if you saw any good answers, Camilo, from your own question.
Yes, actually, Deepika answered it correctly.
Deepika again. Okay, cool. Congrats.
Awesome.
What was it? Was it this one? Was it this one?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the one. That's the one.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, congrats again, Deepika. Very good at it.
How can I contact her now? I mean, you could write us a DM maybe on
We
Twitter.
will handle that, Camilo, through the link of we will add some question to him, and we will put you in contact with the winners as well. So don't worry, it will be easier to manage.
Amazing, super,
perfect. So we got some answers, Dimitri. I don't know if you see any good answers.
Oh, let me read. So actually, I mentioned that it's more on the speed side. So I see answer from Solid Mage. I think it was the first one.
Okay, perfect. Solid Mage again. It's very cool to see you. That you're always the first time to have a good answers. And you are a good listener for sure. So yeah, congrats, Solid Mage.
Congrats.
Perfect. Thank you very much again, Dimitri, for the presentation. It was very
Thank you.
interesting.
Thank
We'll
you
go
for having me.
over
Let me
the last one, AlterVerse, with Keith. If you're ready, Keith.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name is Keith Wagner. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here representing the AlterVerse project today. And we've definitely got sort of a industry sort of narrate and give a little bit of detail along the way. And then afterwards, we've actually set up a world premiere trailer for some of our games that we're going to share with the BGA audience that nobody's seen yet.
Wow, exciting.
All right, so you guys can see the screen here, I'm assuming, yeah? Now, I'm going to first start off just by briefly explaining what the AlterVerse is and then what we are not. So ultimately, the goal here for us will be an infrastructure for a true worldwide metaverse platform where we'll provide pre-made and customizable servers for different games, even cities, associations, and anyone in between, interconnecting all of them really as a true metaverse. Plus, we'll provide the economy for all of this with our own ACE token. Now, what we are not is just a single game title calling itself a metaverse, and we're not a single server metaverse calling ourselves decentralized. So with Sky City, our initial game, there's no wallet necessary to play. We have highly customizable avatars throughout our games. We have really in-depth player crafting and building. We have in-game economies, multiple gameplay types for a wide appeal. Plus NFT marketplace, real estate, land purchases, things like built-in voice chat throughout the games, anything you can think of. Now, everything I'm going to show you here today is actual in-game footage from our early pre-alpha build. Now, as we launch, we're going to do it in 4 initial phases. So phase 1 is Sky City. This is our main hub for the AlterVerse. Phase 2 is Outpost. This is our sci-fi shooter game. Phase 3 is Wrecked. This is our open world survival game. And phase 4 are what we call meta servers. These are those customizable servers that can be built and sold to individuals, organizations, even cities, like I mentioned. Now, focusing on phase 1, Sky City, as I said, this is the main hub for the AlterVerse, where the other games are actually accessible. Our audiences are definitely going to include the blockchain gamers interested in earning and purchasing NFTs, plots of land, and buildings, but equally, we're going to be targeting all of those global gaming audience, the same people who would play Roblox, Minecraft, typical games. Now, there will be some limited player versus player action going on in here, but Sky City specifically is a lot of socializing and entertainment, big events, built-in quests and mini games. And the revenues are going to come in just as many forms with land sales, the shops and billboards, rentals, the tokens and NFTs, and all of these partners that you see we're already lined up with. Now, this central point you see here is what we call the epicenter, where players first spawn into the game. And our goal here is to really create a lot of fun and activity around this area to really promote and expose those partners that we're working with. Just for example, what you see here is what we call the pit. Now, this is where players can play against one another, jumping vehicles through obstacles and smashing cars into one another, and all of this to earn those ACE tokens daily. And all of this really makes this epicenter area some of the most prime real estate that we have in Sky City. But by no means all of it. I mean, not even close. What you're seeing out there are like skyscrapers that have huge public ground level areas, but we're going vertical with these as well. So each building has multiple floors, each one being its own NFT property. And just for reference, there's over 1,000 of these NFT properties just in the small epicenter alone. Now, to that extent, this epicenter is actually only one of 17 huge platforms that we call halospheres in Sky City alone. Now, each one has a different theme and attractions, like our NFT center, where players can attend art shows, buy skins for their vehicles and equipment, or sell their own art. There will be areas like this stadium event center high up in the clouds, and upscale VIP marina, even this city-sized amusement park with endless mini games just on that one platform alone. And all of this really showcases the utility and fun we build in. Speaking of utility, all of these vehicles that our players will use are going to burn fuel. And our players are going to need to recharge those vehicles paid for with those ACE tokens that they earn through the mini games and move to earn kind of mechanics. Actually, if you notice on the bottom left of the screen there, you'll see our health, energy, hunger, and thirst meters. Say that health bar starts going down, you can buy more food like in our diner, or you can forage for food yourselves on one of these biomes to refill that. You can also scavenge for other materials that you can use to build your own houses and buildings in Sky City and craft NFT furnishings for them. There's so much gorgeous environment to hunt through, but you can see you're not the only one out there going to be hunting. So everything is designed on top of a survival RPG code base, which allows us to keep the players engaged in many ways with the in-depth crafting and building and different gameplay. I mean, the last thing we want is for Sky City alone to be just a boring, empty metaverse as we first launch on PC. Now, with that, I did say Sky City is just phase one. I'll just briefly touch on the next two game titles to kind of set the stage. So phase two is Outpost. This is that sci-fi shooter game with team deathmatch, battle royale, capture the flag, and more fast action type of styles set aboard these huge space stations that can be owned by guilds and individuals and anyone with options to monetize. And phase three is Wrecked. This is that hardcore survival game we've built where players are going to answer a call to look for survivors only to crash their own ship on this planet and find themselves stranded. And this game's actually designed to be a lot like Rust, which some of you probably have played before. Now, what's really important with us, though, is that players can own and launch these Wrecked and Outpost games themselves. So that gives the potential for thousands of these servers being used concurrently across the board and all using that in-game currency. Now, Outpost is really going to be appealing to the fast action esports type of players, and Wrecked is really going to be more geared towards the hardcore survival gamers that like crafting and building. But all of our native game titles really allow us to capture large and distinctly different groups of gamers. And lastly, meta servers. Now, these are servers just like Sky City that you've been seeing, or your own creative worlds, right? That can easily be customized, replicated, sold to individuals, organizations, and we're even targeting cities around the world, much like a franchise model. And these meta servers are what really will comprise the AlterVerse platform by creating this infinite web of worlds, games, and experiences. I mean, again, it's really a true metaverse that we're building out here. And we're excited to see what other people will build in the AlterVerse. And more on the business side, we've already discovered 50 plus revenue streams coming in, including these NFTs in the forms of armor, different weapons, vehicle skins, clothing. I mean, even our servers and our citizenships can be minted and sold as NFTs. So in addition to that, there would be the land sales, large scale events and concerts, storefronts, custom developments, anything and everything that you can think of will be in the AlterVerse. Now, we're going to be using that ACE token on the BNB chain, like I mentioned, and I'll just leave this little screen of the team up here so you can see we are a real business on the back end with real revenue streams and real genuine gamers, but most importantly, real developers building on the Unreal Engine 5. Now, I'll probably just say we have some incredible traction already with 75 plus partners, already 45 or more of them occupying space in this epicenter area here. And our users, like I said before, are growing right along with us. So with that, AlterVerse is just getting started.
Awesome presentation, Keith. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I may, before we get into the questions and things like that, I'd love to spark your guys' interest with a little trailer that we're going to be launching on Monday. You guys can get a little sneak peek of.
Oh yes, we want to.
Okay, I figured that would be the answer.
Okay. Yes.
Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Take me down so far. Take me down so far. You please take me home.
Sign up today and create your free AlterVerse profile.
Wow, that's awesome. Obviously not welcome to the Paradise City, but welcome to the Sky City, I guess.
That's exactly right.
We got
We're going
it.
to be doing our first pre-alpha launch. If you sign up on AlterVerse.com, it will be on 12/12, so just less than a month from now.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Keith, for that. And obviously that's your time for your question.
Yes, and our question, if you're paying attention, I said it several times. What is the first game phase of the AlterVerse?
Okay, so we got the fourth build-out phases on the screen right now, but the real question, as Keith said, is the first build-out phase. Just to be sure, I didn't have the time to change that before Luis got up, but
I've made it a little easier.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for that. But actually, I think we will have a lot of, we already have a lot of answers. I don't know if you want to pick one, if you see a winner.
I think I have to follow the trend and just give it to the first person on the keyboard, and that was Skill Gaming.
Wow, perfect. Skill Gaming. Congrats. It was a very cool presentation for sure. Thanks, Keith, for that. And again, Skill Gaming, you know how it works. You just have to fill out the form. We will put you in contact with the AlterVerse team to be able to claim your prize. So thank you very much, guys, for all of our 4 speakers. It was very nice to have you today. And I will wish everyone a very good weekend. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.